flockers? In this video, we're gonna go over the 5 parrots to avoid for beginners. So if you guys find this really useful, please make sure you hit subscribe and let's get on with the video. I'm gonna go over some of the very popular parrots you see online that people tend to gravitate towards to, and I'm just gonna go ahead and share why I don't recommend them and what's a good alternative to those birds. So, number 1 is the ever popular macaw. They're big, they're cool, they're colorful, they talk, they have big personalities, and they're intensely fun to have. But I do not recommend them for a beginner bird because they are very big birds. And now when we're talking about dealing with a wild animal, because all parrots are wild animals, they are not domesticated. That means you have a wild, giant, super moody, flying pair of scissors in your house. And as such, macaws probably aren't a good bird to get if you have no experience dealing with a bird. Now, while parrots, if trained up well, don't really bite, it can happen. It only takes a quick Google search to find macaw bites and see a lot of pretty grotesque messes on the internet. Any mistake you make as a bird owner is going to be multiplied because of just how massive this bird is. Now instead, I recommend checking out mini macaws. If you still want that colorful tropical bird, you can still get them at a much smaller size. And they are just as awesome, just as fun, big personality, but in a small, tiny package. So I would give those a shot. I personally love the Hans macaw. Check those guys out, they're awesome. Next up on the list is gonna be cockatoos. You've seen all the videos of cockatoos. They're extremely popular because when you go to a pet store, they are super fuzzy and fun to pet, super soft, super friendly, and they have one of the biggest talking personalities you can imagine. But the problem with cockatoos is they are so high energy. This kayak is already a handful. I mean, just look at her and how high energy she is. Alright, now you multiply that with a big bird. It is a big handful to handle. Not to mention, cockatoos are so high energy, they are heavily prone to things like plucking and other mental issues that you're gonna have to work through. As such, they are definitely not a beginner bird and take a lot of time requirement. Now, if you still want a cockatoo, but on a smaller scale, I would actually recommend checking out cockatiels. They are closely related, hence the name, and while their personalities are still pretty different, you can still get a lot of that very fun personality of a cockatoo in such a small package that is inexpensive and much easier to take care of compared to a larger bird. Next up is going to be African greys. African greys are amazing birds because you probably came across them if you looked up what parrot is the best talker. And also, if you watch some other YouTubers, I think it was Jake Paul has one. Tons of YouTubers love having African greys because they are just such big personality birds. Not only that, but there have been scientific studies on African greys, and those birds have been shown to exhibit signs of self-awareness. That's right, they are actually incredibly intelligent, and in a lab setting, an African grey was actually able to learn English. So it's not just a good talker, it will actually communicate with you. But as such, they are so incredibly smart, they are going to need a lot of mental stimulation. And as such, African greys end up being extremely high maintenance pets. So I don't recommend them in the slightest if you are looking for a talking bird. There are plenty of other talking parrots out there. I would actually say the mini macaw would probably be a great talking parrot if you are looking for a bird that talks. But if you more around like the look of an African grey, there are other cool African parrots you can get. I would actually recommend checking out polycephalus parrots. Those are like Myers and Senegals. They have a really cool African look with like more of a dull color palette, but still really cool looking. So I would check those out. So another very popular parrot are going to be Amazon parrots. They are pretty much the life of the party. They are super fun and comical, really big personality, like really big personality, and they'll let you know about it. And as such, they're just really fun pets. But I don't recommend them because they're such a big personality. They're pretty bossy at times. Even when they play really aggressively. Like they're using their beak, and sometimes they're grabbing harder than they realize they're grabbing. And they're just going all over the place. I mean, they're literally a monkey parrot, if this isn't a monkey parrot enough. So now if you are looking for a parrot that has a very, very big personality and kind of bossy at times, because you kind of like that aggressiveness in a parrot, check out Parrotlets. Parrotlets are actually the world's smallest parrot, but what's so cool about them is they kind of have an Amazon-like personality in that they have really big pushy personalities, and they can actually be pretty stubborn at times. But they are way easier to care for than an Amazon parrot. Now, last parrot on this list is going to be the Eclectus parrot. They are one of the most vibrant colored parrots ever. I mean, you look at the male and is this strong, shiny, metallic green. Or you look at the females and they're just this vibrant red with like magenta wings. It's pretty unreal as far as birds go. But I don't recommend them for beginners, and for a couple of reasons. For one, Eclectus parrots are generally show parrots. That's how I kind of describe them, because they generally don't like being touched, and they just want to sit there and watch the world slowly deteriorate and destroy itself. Now, yes, there are plenty of fun Eclectus parrots out there on the internet, but generally they tend to just be leave me alone, you do you, I do me, everyone's happy kind of birds. But secondly, they also have a complicated diet for a parrot. They pretty much need to eat mostly fruits because their digestive system and their tract can easily clog up. They just need moist, mushy fruit, and as such, they're going to be one of the stickiest parrots to clean after. They're going to be really high maintenance in terms of diet, because every single day you're gonna have to be feeding them fruits, and that's gonna add up a lot of money and a lot of time. It's gonna be a very difficult bird to take care of and rely on other people to watch your bird for you. But now, if the main thing attracting you with the Eclectus is actually you do kind of want a show bird, then I would actually recommend checking out Pionus parrots, as Pionus are also just very calm lapdog kind of parrots, and they don't mind just kind of sitting there and just enjoying your presence and being a show bird. And there's some really cool Pionus out there, so I would check that out. But that about sums it up. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure you hit subscribe. Bye.